public defender is an attorney employed by the community and responsible for giving legal aid without cost to any person who seeks it and is financially unable to employ private counsel. It is his duty to defend those accused of crime until the issue is decided in the court of law. The first public defender's office in the United States was opened in January 1913. Over the years, other offices were opened. And today, that handful has grown to a network of lawyers cooperating to protect the rights of our clients. Many things can happen to a young boy who feels unwanted and thinks the whole world has turned against him. This is the alarming story of such a boy.
I'll take care of him.
Jim, you're crazy. He's your own son.
Jim will listen. He'll never forget it. Stop him before he kills the boy.
Jim!
All right, Bud, turn off. Let go of me. That's my own kid. Well, certainly a father's got a right to teach his own kid a lesson.
What do you call a lesson?
It's inhuman, that's what it is. Beating a boy like that.
What brought it on, kid? What'd you do?
Nothing. I didn't do anything.
Nothing? You sure of that, kid?
Yeah, I'm sure. So what the boy did, that's no call for a grown man to beat his own child like that.
Who asked you to butt in? This is a private affair. Take it easy. Are you this man's wife?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what caused the argument?
No, I haven't.
Did the boy do anything wrong, like break a window or take some money?
I don't take anything that doesn't belong to me.
That's right, Officer Kenny isn't like that.
Guess you just needed the exercise, huh?
All right, champ, let's go.
Go. Hey, wait a minute. Go where?
Down to the station.
What for? Certainly a father's got a right out. Come on.
Remember, if you want anyone to prefer charges, that kind of a man's a menace to the community.
Hello, Mr. Higgins. I'm Boyd Matthews, the public defender. As you know, the court has assigned us to represent you.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Mr. Higgins, why did you do it? What's your side of the story?
Well, it's just exactly the way it was written down in the police record.
The police report describes a rather brutal incident of child beating.
Kenny's hardly a child.
In the eyes of the law, he's a minor and he's your child. Mr. Higgins, why did you do it?
Mr. Matthews, that's my business.
That's not so. You're charged with a felony.
I don't care what they call it. All I was doing was disciplining my son.
What had the boy done?
What difference does it make? You read all this stuff about juvenile delinquency and kids running wild? Well, I believe it's a parent's job to see that his kid keeps out of trouble.
Was your boy in trouble?
Oh, no. Well, you know what they say about a stitch in time.
That's not exactly the kind of stitch they meant, Mr. Higgins. And there's nothing else you can tell me to help me prepare your case.
No.
I must warn you, Mr. Higgins, that juries aren't very lenient with men charged with assault, especially against their own children.
It's all right. I'll take what's coming to me.
Do you have any previous record with the police?
No.
Then this is your first offense of any kind?
That's right.
Mr. Higgins, are you sure you've told me everything I ought to know as your attorney?
Yeah, everything.
All right, then. I'll look in on you tomorrow.
Tell me, Mr. Matthews, why did he do it? How could he beat his own child like that? How could he?
Kenny isn't your son, is he, Mrs. Higgins?
His mother died about 2 years ago. Jim and I have been married about 7 months.
I see. And has he ever done this before?
Oh, no. Nothing like the way he was last night out in the yard.
Do you have any idea what the boy might have done to arouse Mr. Higgins?
I don't think Kenny did anything at all. That's what's so wrong. I've never seen Jim like that before. When I first met him, he seemed so kind, such a good father. That's one of the first things that attracted me to him.
You do want to help him, don't you?
Of course I do. How could a man beat his own child like that? Maybe there's something wrong with Jim. Maybe something I don't understand.
Let's try to find out, Mrs. Higgins. Do you know where Kenny is at the moment?
I think he's at the youth center. He spends most of his time there now. I haven't been able to get a word out of him in weeks. The only time he comes home is when he's hungry.
Well, let's see if I have any better luck with him. Thank you, Mrs. Higgins. Good for the arm muscles. I'm looking for a boy named Kenny Higgins. Do you know where I can find him?
What do you want him for?
I have word about his father.
His father? What do you know about him?
Are you Kenny Higgins?
Yeah. Who are you?
I'm an attorney, Kenny. I'm trying to help your father.
What do you want with me?
I guess you're not too anxious to help your father after the other night.
Oh, that wasn't anything.
Hungry, Kenny?
Huh?
I could sure go for one of those hot dogs with about 4 inches of sauerkraut on top.
No, thanks.
Treats on me.
Okay, I'll try one.
Sure, Kenny. That's more like it.
What'll it be, Dan?
2 of the best ones you got.
And don't spare the sauerkraut. What's a wiener without sauerkraut? Just like a sailor without a ship. Or a girl. Sauerkraut. There you go, 2 of the best in town.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Down, Kenny. Sure hits the spot, doesn't it, Kenny?
Sure does, Mr.
Matthews, Bart Matthews.
You say you were a lawyer?
I'm the public defender, Kenny.
Oh? You defending my old man?
I've kind of been thinking about it. Think I should?
Sure. He's not a bad guy.
Even in spite of the beating he gave you?
I wasn't so bad. I can take it.
I'm sure you can. I only wish I was as sure about something else.
What?
That you really wanted to help your father.
Well, what can I do to help him?
You could tell me what went wrong between you two.
I don't know what to say.
Well, things haven't always been bad between you and your father, have they, Kenny?
No. Things weren't bad at all. Everything was wonderful until the day my mother and father and I went up to the mountain. We couldn't help it, could we, Dad? The boat just turned over.
With the wind. With that sudden gust of wind.
Dad, do you think she'll die?
God help us, I hope not.
Dad, you can't let her die. You mustn't.
Doing the best I can.
Can't we get someone to help?
Nobody for miles.
Dad, you can't let her die. Can't die. Please don't die. I don't think I can finish this, Mr. Matthews.
You don't have to finish it, Kenny. What happened after your mother died?
How do you mean?
I mean, how did you and your father get along?
Okay.
Just okay?
I guess you could say we were good pals. We used to go on long hikes and bat a ball around, stuff like that.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. While it lasted.
What happened to end it?
She had to come around and stick her nose into everything.
She, your new mother?
She's not my mother. I hate her. I've hated her since the day Dad told me about her. Hey, I got it!
You got what?
Stay there. Don't come any closer. Wait till you see this thing curve.
All right. Burn it across the plate.
You see it? Did you see that thing curve?
If I'd been swinging at that, I'd have dislocated my back.
What have you been doing all day?
Ah, same old thing. Went over to the gym after school and took a little workout.
Man, I better look out. You're going to knock me cold one of these days.
Not me, Dad. I'd never hurt you.
You couldn't even if you tried. Sit down. Kenny, you know that camping trip we were going to take next Monday?
Sure, Dad. I've been practicing setting up my pup tent till I can do it in my sleep.
Swell. Well, would you be too disappointed if we put it off for a couple of months?
Couple of months?
Yeah.
It'll be too cold then. What's the matter, Dad? Anything go wrong?
Oh, no. Don't get so upset. No, I met somebody.
Who?
A girl. Her name's Ellen. She came to work at the plant about a month ago. You're going to like Ellen.
Sure, Dad, if you say so. But what's that got to do with our camping trip?
Well, I figure in about a month, Ellen and me are going to get married.
What? Married? No, Dad, you can't.
Why not?
Because of Mom.
Well, even if I didn't love Ellen, I think I'd marry her anyway on account of you.
Me?
Yeah, you think I like the way you're growing up like a wild weed, nobody to look at?
I get along all right.
I know how you feel about your mom, kid. But she's not here anymore.
Dad, you just can't get married. You just can't.
A couple of roughnecks like us. We need a lady around the house.
You're all I need, Dad. I don't need anyone else.
Yes, you do. You wait till you meet Ellen. Why, she's a swell gal.
Does she like chemistry?
Well, I don't know. I never asked her.
Mom gave me that chemistry set on my last birthday before she said I'd make a swell chemist.
If I know anything about Ellen, she'll like chemistry. Hey, come on, kid. Let's go tackle those Franks and beans, huh?
Well, how did it turn out? Did she like chemistry?
She pretended to for a while, but she didn't fool me. I knew she was just putting it on. The way she was always putting on everything else to make Dad and me forget about Mom.
Hi, Kenny.
Hi.
What you doing?
Nothing.
Is that stuff you're fooling around with?
I'm not fooling with.
I think I recognize the odor. What is it?
Nothing. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay around and sniff it.
But, Kenny, I'm interested. What is it?
The kind of acid.
Acid. Isn't that kind of dangerous?
Depends on who's using it.
It isn't inflammable, is it?
Don't worry, I'm not going to set fire to anything.
Maybe you shouldn't be handling anything like that, Kenny.
Dad said you knew something about chemistry, but you don't know anything at all. Get away from there. That stuff will burn a hole right through you.
Kenny, look what you've done.
It was an accident. You got me all mixed up by coming in here.
You must get rid of this stuff. It's dangerous. I told you so.
So that's what you want, isn't it?
I don't want anything. I'm just afraid you might hurt yourself or burn down the house.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like it if this house burned down. Then Dad'd have to move somewhere else and forget all about Mom.
Oh, no, Kenny. I love this house. I know a fine woman lived here before me. Kenny, I hope I can take your mother's place.
You'll never take my mother's place. All you're trying to do is come between me and Dad. You're not fooling me for a minute.
What it all added up to was a hurt, confused, rejected kid. I went at once to see his father to try and break through to the real cause of the trouble.
Well, sure, it was tough on the kid, but it was tough on Ellen, too. Every way she turned, Kenny put up a stone wall in front of her.
Yes, I know. Did you do anything about the chemistry set?
Did she tell you about that? Well, after Ellen told me how he almost blew himself up and burned that hole in the rug, I threw the set out.
I'm not sure, Mr. Higgins, that was the right thing to do.
Maybe it wasn't, because it was right after that the real trouble began.
What trouble?
Oh, nothing, just more of the same.
Look, Mr. Higgins, I'm your attorney. If I'm going to be any use to you, I've got to know the whole truth. Now, do I get it or don't I?
All right. What do you want to know?
The reason you beat your son. What had he done?
Well, maybe throwing that set out was a mistake. Because that night, everything seemed to go wrong.
What are you doing, Dad? That's my chemistry set.
Yeah, I know.
Where are you going? What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to throw it out. I heard what happened today.
But that was an accident. I'll be more careful next time, I promise.
Uh-huh. And who'll pay for the house when you burn it to the ground?
Dad, please. You can't just throw it out. You can't just throw it out like that. I'm not going to burn anything.
Kenny's right, Jim.
Now, wait a minute. Suppose I decide who's right and who's wrong around here for a change.
It's all your fault. You had to go and tell him. All you've done is made trouble ever since you've been around
That's
here.
enough, Kenny.
Why don't you leave us alone? We don't need you around here. Why don't you get out?
Up to your room. Go on, get up to your room. I never want to hear you talk like that again. Now go on, get up to your room.
Jimmy hasn't had his dinner yet. Don't be too hard on him, Jim.
Well, I got to do something. That kid's getting out of hand. He's going to learn to treat you with some respect.
Now he's taking your side. Just the way you wanted it, isn't it?
It's all wrong, Jim. He's just a child. He needs all the love we can give him, not hate.
I don't hate him. It's time he started acting like a man instead of a spoiled little brat.
Jim, there's a fire.
Yeah. Sounds awful close. It's right down the street. Looks like that old building on the corner.
Where are you going?
I'm going to see if Kenny's all right. Kenny? Kenny, where are you?
Jim, where is it?
I don't know. It must be it's that fire. Don't worry, Ellen. I'll find him. You all right?
Sure, Dad.
What are you doing here? You ought to be home in bed.
No, I couldn't sleep. I saw the fire through the window and ran down. I turned in the alarm.
Your boy did a great job, mister. If it hadn't been for him, the whole block might have gone up. You should be proud of him.
I am proud of you, son. I'm sorry about what happened tonight.
That's okay, Dad. Everything's going to be all right.
And was everything okay after that, Jim?
Oh, no. Only a couple of days later, there was another fire. Right in our own house.
In your own house? Was it serious?
Well, I just come home from work. Ellen met me at the door. Hi, honey. Well, what have you got to feed a starving husband?
Short ribs tonight. Your favorite dish.
You're my favorite dish. Hey, what's that?
Jim, it smells like smoke.
You sure it's not the short ribs?
I took some out of the oven a minute ago. Jim, I think there is a fire.
I think you're right.
Jim! Jim, be careful! You'll get burned!
guess we got it in time.
That's my old suitcase. How'd that ever catch on fire?
There's your answer. Did you put that thing in there, Ellen?
No, Jim, of course not.
Where's Kenny?
He's upstairs getting ready for dinner. Why?
No reason. A couple of nights later, I just gone down to the corner to pick up a paper. Kenny, where you going?
Down to the gym.
The gym, this time of the night?
Yeah, I feel kind of stale. A workout ought to do me some good.
Okay. Now, don't you stay out too late.
Don't worry, Dad. I can take care of myself.
Another minute and it would have been too late. We never would have gotten out.
This is the third fire right on this block in less than a week.
Must be a fire bug in the neighborhood. I hope they catch him before the whole neighborhood goes up.
Kenny.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Are you this boy's father?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, this boy's a hero. That's what he is.
He sure is. He turned in the alarm that saved our lives.
Come on.
Where are we going?
We're going home. I'm going to teach you a lesson you'll never forget.
So that's why you beat your son. Why didn't you turn him over to the police?
I was afraid to. I thought I could pound some sense into him. I always felt that a man should handle his own family problems.
Kenny needs more help than you can give him, Jim.
Yeah, but why? Why did he do it? He had everything a kid could want.
He felt hurt. He thought he was unwanted and unloved. Now, we know an arsonist will start a fire and stare into the flames and actually say it makes them feel better.
What's going to happen to my boy?
He needs therapy, Jim, to help him understand his problems so that he doesn't have to start a fire or do any violent thing to make him feel better.
Will you help him, Mr. Matthews?
I'll do my best, Jim. Kenny was taken into custody and ultimately committed to the Youth Authority, where he received the necessary therapy. The charge against his father was dismissed in the interest of justice. In due time, Kenny was restored to his family, and this time there was no trouble about accepting his new mother or the love she stands ready to give him. The case you have just seen was brought to a fair and just conclusion through the efforts of a public defender.